It is. It's public service announcement. It's never a safe space. We only do it for the culture. We never do it for the fucking industry. Hi guys.
Who are you?
Yeah. Exactly.
I am Quarantine Bobby Quarantino. Robbie Quarantino.
Bobby Quarantino. Yo,
Yeah.
Go away.
You know what I mean? This is our life now. This is our new normal. I know it's been a while, so we decided that since everyone is home, the least we can do is provide content and provide something for you guys who've been very patient with us and constantly ask us for episodes. So we are recording one. Everybody.
Wait.
Yeah. I'm Lion Goodman, Lion of Bed-Stuy, and that's about it. I'm trapped.
Wow, a lion trapped. Wow, that's a new one. That's clever.
No, I'm not trapped.
Lion? Damn.
Yo. Oh, damn. I was going to break a Tiger King joke, but then I remember he didn't like black people.
There you go. That's it.
I've never seen a redneck gay Trump supporter. That is a new one.
That actually, a lot of them exist. a lot of gays are pretty fucking racist.
Okay, and like tigers?
There's a lot of gays who fuck black men and are fucking racist. So and like exotic animals. They mostly just have parrots and shit. But
if they like black men, then they must like exotic. All right, never mind. I'm not gonna
all right,
that's not a good joke.
It's not intimidating.
All right.
Introduce yourself.
It's your girl, Little Mayo, aka I can't even be a mixie no more. I'm just inside. All right, hold it down, Mayo. I guess. Like,
you look like you're inside of Jimi Hendrix's house. Like you're just chilling. Like there's like mad feng shui.
Like, I know whose house this is, and he's a very important cultural figure. And if you know, then you know.
It looks like it could be Cause's house, but I could be wrong.
I don't have to let people know. This is my Zoom background, and this will always be my Zoom background. Period.
And we have our favorite. Who's here? Introduce yourself, sir. I know it's been a while.
Yo, what up, y'all? It's Randy. Check the music today.
Come on, man.
I don't have
Randy.
the camera.
One of the hosts of the Talking BS podcast.
Yeah,
clearly, nobody else missed outside and had and thought of monikers. We're just like, we're inside or we're stuck. That's all we're thinking about.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
The audience is just going to have to endure with us.
Right.
We're not much of an escape. Sorry.
Yeah, like we didn't really plan this out as well as we thought it was gonna be.
It's fine. It is what it is.
We have a show for everyone.
Yeah,
we do. I just want to point out that the last time we recorded, it seems like when we record, we have so much optimism, and then like it just goes downhill. Like I remember recording the election episode, and we was like, "Hey, go out and vote. Make sure Trump doesn't win." And we came back and we recorded. It was like
defeated.
Trash.
That was pretty much the beginning of the end.
Trump was the beginning of the end. I don't care what nobody said.
It's crazy because we pour out for the homies, but we've lost so many people since we've recorded. Like, Pop, Gigi, Kobe, the rest of the passengers, and the pilot on the helicopter.
Yeah, that's right. So many RIPs.
People have lost their lives to the coronavirus. Our prayers go out to them. Essential workers going to work every day and putting their lives on the line. It's just been so much since we've recorded, and I think sometimes we take that for granted. That when you record, you're literally reporters of the culture and what's going on around you. And you have your own personal timestamp that you can share with people of things that happened in that moment. How you felt and, how the world felt when it happened when you record podcasting. And I think that's the beauty of it sometimes. And sometimes we get lost and not remembering that. And when we come back and record, I think that's always a beautiful feeling.
Listen, I'm still hot about Pop Smoke dying. You just didn't get to vent about that. That shit hurts me every day.
Kobe hurts a lot too. Like
Kobe hurts a lot. But I've gotten to the weird thing about Kobe is I was in LA when Kobe died. Like I was literally, it was the end of my trip, and I was staying across the street from Staples Center, so I got to literally see Kobe's death like in true, like literally as the minutes happened, and like the LA news was reporting it like this. Like that was a strange place to be, literally across the street from Staples Center when Kobe died, and seeing the memorials, seeing grown men on their knees crying. There was a mural behind the place that I was staying on the dispensary of Kobe that had been there before he died. It was one of Nipsey and it was one of Kobe. And seeing like kids out there crying. Like I went to Staples Center, like seeing people hawk the bootleg t-shirts, people like all the flowers. It was crazy. Like Kobe was the last thing that happened. Actually, when the last time I was really outside, Kobe died and I left like a day later. That was sick. It was mad. It was like, so it bummed me out. And then come back and then Pop Smoke's dead. It was just like, it was trash.
Yeah. I mean, I can only imagine. I guess Miss Goodman can talk. How did Brooklyn take that with Pop?
Well, we all know it. A lot of folks from Brooklyn. There's some folks that we all know that knew him personally, that were raised out in Canarsie and had seen him growing up. But it definitely, like, Brooklyn drill is bubbling. Like, it's really becoming its own subgenre, and it's really developing its culture, um, especially definitely like in East Flatbush, um, and down into Canarsie. But you really see like this culture brewing, and this drive brewing through all essentially the kids. And Pop Smoke was, one of the faces of that. And honestly, he was probably like, in the absence of Bobby Shmurda, who I think was really like the godfather of Brooklyn drill. Like Pop Smoke
Sure.
was definitely carrying that torch, and he was a kid. He's 20 years old, and not even put like like Takashi is free, and a lot of people are confused about that.
His song didn't
Mhm.
even last,
And
like his song lasted a year. Like
so like
he,
this dude who is certified, but it played the game right, and he's still taken out. Like it was a cosmic injustice. Like it's not right. And
Yeah, I
it's a
think
damn that we have no leads, no follow up, nothing. Like
Yeah,
we knew
the
who
whole
killed
Corona thing
Nips.
happening, like the investigation just died. Like,
well, I think the
how they gonna
investigation
investigate him?
didn't. I think the investigation, when they really started to dig deep into it, we went into quarantine.
That's
it's
that's what
true.
I'm
That's
saying.
possible, yeah. That's
Yeah.
possible.
Like,
But
I mean,
it's
I
just
don't mean to be that negative, but you think about it. Pop died the beginning of March.
Yep. Right at the beginning of March.
Yeah,
And lockdown happened in the middle of March.
we went into lockdown the 12th. Like before they can even process everything. Like I think friends of the show that we know that were very close with Pop, they were held up in LA for like at least a solid 2 weeks
Yeah, they couldn't even
before they
come
would
back.
even let. So it was like, and then I mean, for me, when Kobe died, I was I think a week from going to Portland, and that was just depressing. Like just being on campus, I had the opportunity to go to Nike's campus, and you could see like the somber look that everyone had. Like even with like the posters and the memorials that they had for him, it was just really really different. Like luckily we had the opportunity to see the banner that they had for him in black and white before they changed it over to color. And they were like, they're gonna put the banner somewhere where the old banner is, so it can always be seen. But yeah, it's just been such an interesting turn of events with 2020. Like while I was out there, the first actual noted case of Corona was in Seattle, and I really didn't think nothing of it. I was just, oh, that's crazy. I'm like, I don't know if they'll make it to New York, whatever, one off.
I just kept seeing all the cases in Asia because I have friends that were living over there or stationed there. So I was just like, okay, I never thought it was going to come over here.
Yeah, like the night. I'll be first one to say I was completely naive in thinking that we were even going to get to this level of not able to be going outside. I think I had spoke to Randy the weekend before quarantine. I was like, I'm going to a party. He was like, you are wilding. Shout out to the good brother Reek and Jack in the Box. His party. I went to his party and we went into quarantine that Tuesday. So you know what I mean.
Son, I was in Curacao celebrating my birthday, and I literally saw the world end. Like every time every time I was on the resort and I was looking at my phone, boom, the NBA is closed, it's shutting down. Boom, there's this like ESPN is just basically white noise at this point.
Yeah.
And then like Friday, oh, they're shutting down flights from like certain places, like immigration is checking for where you're coming from. And coming in on Saturday when pretty much everything had started shutting down, like everything was shutting down, it was just a ghost town. Like I had just celebrated my birthday at the Folly.
That's facts. I came.
And yeah, and that was the last time I saw literally everybody. The only person that I have seen is, well, okay, I do. Well, I always see my girlfriend, but the woman that do my hair like 2 days before they shut down all businesses. Like I've not seen my family. I've not seen all of you in person. Like the
Since the
world just
birthday.
ended. Yeah, just the world ended.
Yeah.
I think I got back Saturday morning, the day after your party, and we had spoken. I was like, "Oh, we'll catch up." Actually, we did see. Did I saw you? I saw you before because I came to see you at your job.
Oh yeah, my job. Yeah, but that was like,
but that like we had seen. Like I actually physically got to see you.
Yeah.
Thank God before like this happened.
I thought I was gonna link up with Rob because I was like, okay, you back from Portland. We'll see. We'll talk. That just never fucking happened.
Nah, like I got I sent stuff to Jade's crib while I was out like in Portland because I couldn't send it nowhere. I was like, yo, I need to get this. I gotta move this shit. So I was like, yo, I'm gonna send it to your crib, and it's still sitting in her crib. It's like brand new content I need to take pictures of, and I can't because I have no access.
Don't say it's content. It's clout.
It's content. It's content.
It's a brand new clout that you got to take pictures of.
Brand new clout.
It's
you know what? We're not even gonna do that. Let's get into our L's. Who's taking the first L that we know so far?
Well, it's not so much a who as much as maybe a what. And it's like planet Earth.
The whole Earth? I think Earth is winning.
Honestly, I think Earth is good. It's
like Earth is good. Chilling. I think America took an L.
Human civilization.
I don't think as human civilization is suffering as bad as America is suffering, or America because of just America. I think we're suffering the worst just because America was unprepared.
America is not, well, okay, yes, America is suffering, like our economy is tanking, but it's because our economy is based on taking advantage of other people. So if you don't have those people out there to be taken advantage of, whether they buying shit or selling shit or doing something for somebody else who is too lazy to do it for themselves, obviously no money is flowing.
Yeah, but the hamster wheel's not going full of money, and so nobody. It's just a dub all around.
Niggas are popped in panic.
I've never seen so many OnlyFans start. So actually, OnlyFans gets they're gonna L. They're gonna win. Fuck.
Randy, how has that been for you? For someone who's outside was a complete introvert, and now you have to be in the house. How have you been dealing with that?
I thought, I always prided myself on enjoying like being by myself and not having to interact with people and not needing to be around people to be able to enjoy myself. But not being able to go outside at all and always being stuck in the house, it puts things into perspective. Like even me going to work and going into the city and stuff like that, that was a lot of human interaction that's the human interaction I was living off of. now that I don't have that, like I really feel isolated and I live by myself. So it's definitely a little bit more difficult. But I'm getting through just like everybody else.
There is a ritual, like the idea of getting up, taking a shower, getting ready for, like, dressing up. What are you gonna wear? Getting on the train or traveling, however you may. There's a ritual.
Going to the local bodega, seeing a person you see every day, having a conversation with them, like little things like that is just then. Rob, how do you feel since you belong to the streets? How do you feel being stuck inside? Like, honestly, the one question, I feel like all of us are okay with staying at home at times. How do you feel being a member of the blocks in the street corners?
This shit sucks. Before quarantine, I had met a young lady that I was kind of interested in, and we went out on a date, and that's the last time I seen her.
So she ain't trying to FaceTime?
Fam, we have no more to FaceTime about. Like, I'm tired of FaceTiming. Like, I'm just tired. I'm tired of talking. Like, I never, like.
Oh, you trying to get to knocking the boots.
He's like, it's demon time. Bam!
Like,
ain't no more talking.
We'll get to that. I mean, even nudes are different now because, like, beauticians are not available. So, like, things are growing that weren't growing before because there's not trimming there. So it's like, so these pictures look different now. So
Rob with the master class on how to stop getting nudes.
So it's like,
you better be grateful.
Things are changing. So it's a lot. Let's just say it's a lot. Let's just get into the next L because I don't want to talk about it no more. The next L is Isaiah Thomas, fam. The Jordan doc has came out, which we will talk about later. But Isaiah Thomas is a villain, bro. Like a real villain.
I feel really bad for Isaiah Thomas because he wants to be liked so bad, but it's like, you're probably just never going to be liked. Like your team, yeah, they got 2 chips, but they were absolutely awful. But it wasn't even so much like how bad they were. It's just like he was very passive aggressive about it in the 90s. Like a lot of people just don't fucking like you, dog.
Yeah. I think a lot of things with Isaiah Thomas, which we're going to talk more about the doc, I think he didn't see what things were becoming. Everybody, I think, was more focused on just winning the championships and just being good players. And I think once they saw how Jordan was received, I think a lot of people switched up their PR game. And he's a prime example of that. But I was going to talk more about it when we talk about the doc, but I'll get into it more. But I just feel like hindsight is 2020 for Isaiah Thomas, and history has not been nice to him.
I've just never seen somebody who has.
I'll explore more about it when we talk about the Jordan doc, but I just feel like
I disagree because John Staley was a stand-up dude, and John Staley has been absolutely adored for like 3 decades.
But it's like, but also too, I didn't do that much on the Pistons to get the ring.
Yeah. John, but even still,
like, no shade, like you were on the team,
but it wasn't even about. It's like, why'd you walk away? Like John Sally was like, no, I'm not going to do that. That's my frat brother. It doesn't, and it's also just a decent thing to do.
When keeping it petty goes wrong.
Okay, yeah, and so like you were, Bill Laimbeer is like, I don't give a fuck, dog. I do it again right now.
He's like, one, I'm white. One, I've always had money, so I don't give a damn if I won this ring or not. That's simply what he said.
This means nothing to me.
I'll be okay. I'm white in Detroit. I'll be okay. You better hope this works out for you past his NBA career.
I mean, and then you lead the Knicks to nothingness.
And also people hated him when he was part of the Knicks franchise. They
hated him because they just hated him already. Like people.
And then you went to a team that people already were shitty. So
I met Isaiah Thomas when I worked at Starbucks in Westchester, and
what the fuck was he doing up there?
That's where his house was.
Practice.
Yeah, they practice in White Plains. So I was working at Rye in Rye, New York, close to Rye Playland, and two customers that I always saw was Joe Torre and Isaiah Thomas. So Isaiah Thomas walks in, and I'm like, yo, like, I'm getting his latte. And I'm like, yo, can I ask you something? He's like, what's going on, man? I'm like, yo, why does the Knicks suck? Like, it's just like, what was this like?
No, you really don't like being employed.
You really are a fucking troll.
You really don't like being.
Fuck?
Like,
Why would you ask Isaiah
I would have
Thomas?
asked for your fucking manager.
I would have grabbed the
I would've
coffee you
too.
made me and literally chucked it over the counter. Like,
Who the
what
fuck
the
you
fuck?
think you're talking to, you
Fucking-
dumpy motherfucker?
Like, yeah. Yo,
I'm a 2-time NBA champion.
Yeah.
Who the fuck are you? Where's your manager?
2-time cappuccino maker. What the fuck? Like, damn, you're terrible.
Get the fuck out of here.
God damn. Bronx niggas are really
Oh,
grimy. Like,
so
I'm
he
making
says
a
to
coffee
me-
and I still gotta be a troll.
No, I got it. No. He says to me, he says, you know, let me put you in a little secret. Let me, whatever, see the word that says. I said, all right, what's up? He says, I can do all the coaching in the world, but I am not the one who shoots the ball in the hoop. And he got his drink and he walked away. And that's when I
See,
knew.
this motherfucking it's always somebody else's fault. Maybe it's yours, Isaiah. Maybe it's yours.
And at the same time, I realized it was just him because when Joe Torre moved to LA to become the general manager for the Dodgers, he came in and he gave me a signed baseball. He was like, yo, you've always been a nice guy, and I know you're a Yankee fan, and gave me a baseball. And he was like, yo, I'm going to LA. But Isaiah Thomas, man.
That's a wonderful
A wonderful
Story.
story about how you're a troll.
onto wins.
Yeah.
On to wins. This win, I don't think anyone gets better with time like Megan does.
Well, she doesn't
Beyonce?
really have enough time,
I mean,
but-
Megan's always been fine. I think she's
Beyonce?
won because she got a Beyonce. Her Beyonce
Anybody from
collab.
Houston?
I
I
mean,
wish-
TikTok loves her though.
Houston is looking very good right now.
Yeah, Houston.
They
is
They
awesome.
got Megan.
Nah,
they got.
not really. Houston's not winning because if it wasn't for Corona, they would literally have a whole championship stripped.
Oh yeah, no, okay, yeah.
So I can't really give Houston all that.
Yeah,
I'm giving this win to Megan
God.
for her Beyonce remix, but I still want the fucking city of Houston to get stripped for that fucking championship.
You're
Period,
right.
because they
Forgot
were
about
big
that.
cheating.
I forgot
Like,
about that.
I can't give y'all that.
You're
like,
right.
Fuck
You're right.
that. Like, y'all literally, you in Boston don't deserve 2 chips. Okay?
Them motherfuckers
Period.
definitely robbed us.
Yeah,
Right,
at
yeah.
least for one. They robbed us.
So
Yeah.
I'm giving this one strictly to Megan Thee Stallion for
That's
getting
it.
Beyonce. I am
My
not giving
bad.
it to the city of Houston. Y'all definitely can get this fucking L and get that championship revoked. Like they
I was
literally take back the
denied.
hat. Yeah, I
I was
almost had
denied
a
a
new.
season of watching Houston hitters get beamed in
Yo,
the fucking
Rob almost
throat.
had a new fitted with a new World Series patch on it. Okay,
Yeah.
so fuck
Dude,
Houston. Okay, we almost had a new World Series, a new fitted.
I
Okay,
needed one. It would be nice to get a new Yankee World Series fitted, to be honest.
Exactly.
With you. It's been a while. It has been a while.
28 rings, bitch. 28.
Yeah, and we would have had 29 if those dirty motherfuckers didn't cheat.
Stupid.
And then I'm mad they blamed the coaches. Like, yo, it wasn't us. Nigga, you were there.
Team full of Isaiah Thomases.
Yeah. So shout out to Megan. Shout out to Beyonce. I hope they recorded a video before this song came out.
That would be
Probably
nice.
not.
I
That would
mean,
be nice.
if not, I hope they curate something that they can make a visual video because I would like to see Beyonce do the challenge in her own way. Like if her and Blue did the
Oh,
challenge,
wow.
I think it'd be cool. But like, kind of having the song without the video is like, it's great that you got Beyonce feature, but we want to see Beyonce do the TikTok challenge.
The most
Points were
depressing
made.
thing about this to me is the fact that I'm not going to be able to see a bunch of girls go crazy at brunch when that song comes on because we all locked down. Like that song would have been moving.
But we just got a lot of pent up energy and stuff to get back to, so it's gonna be fun.
Fam, I'm not gonna hold you. I may bring a ring to my next date. Like, I'm not even gonna hold you. Like,
Let's not lie.
okay, let's not lie.
Let's not lie. Let's not get ridiculous. We miss outside, but I don't miss outside that much.
I miss outside a lot.
Well, you belong to the streets, but please, enough. Don't
This
ruin
is
your
true.
life.
I think the second W I want to give is to Drake. Drake is. Hey, look, he's the only one making
Early
music.
fall.
He's the only one making music.
I think
and
so
people seem to enjoy it.
This is a great segue into
New music.
New music, and
I was going to give somebody. I think there's 2 other wins, but go ahead.
Go ahead. What do you have?
It's a great. I feel like we should come back to Drake as a win, but I was going to give OnlyFans. Listen,
how do we feel about that?
Listen, the fact that straight men are now doing OnlyFans, I'm like,
I know a friend who has an OnlyFans account. Yeah,
so it's like I know a bunch of straight men who was never ever putting them no suggestive pics, no print pics, and they're like, I got an OnlyFans now, and I'm like, wow.
I think Takee's dropped at 12:00 today.
But also up to I'm like, don't ever judge these women out here that are putting up nudes and putting up panties. If you could get an OnlyFans, if they can have OnlyFans, y'all in the same fucking boat. So don't fucking judge them ever. Yeah, because there's a lot of dudes judging girls like, oh, you got an OnlyFans, you got an OnlyFans in your bio, and it's like, well, look, you got one too.
Yeah, I mean, get it how you live. I mean, they're paying out.
Yeah, people pay you do it, but like you can't. A lot of people were judgy about OnlyFans because a lot of sex workers OnlyFans, a lot of trans, a lot of gays were only, a lot of strippers are OnlyFans. And people were really judgy about it until this pandemic happened, and then people realized, wait, I'm out of work, and these heifers at home that just been wearing Fenty are making bands, and I don't even have my stimulus check.
Well, it's a catch-22 with that because in February OnlyFans leaked, and then we really saw what the content was. And when that leaked, we realized that women weren't really doing much on OnlyFans, but posting like topless photos from Instagram. And it was like, all right, look, this content is really not as premium.
But a lot of women still were cashing out way more because everybody was inside and could not holler.
Oh, that's a fact. I mean, one of my favorite Instagram models is top 20% on OnlyFans.
It don't matter if she was on there shoulder her shoulder and just wearing cut off tops, like. You still are paying, so who's winning here, me or you?
True. Who's your third one?
I just want to say, I don't give a shit about all y'all new OnlyFans. Some of my friends have been in this shit for like years, and they out here. So shout out to V, and shout out to Toy, because I know that they've had this for years. They veterans in this motherfucker.
Veterans in the OnlyFans game.
I ain't subscribing.
There's a lot of girls I know who already had theirs.
I ain't subscribing. But
shout out to them.
Salute.
Are we putting their link in the description of the episode?
That would be hilarious.
If you're gonna be a friend, be a friend. Don't be a halfway friend. Don't be a halfway friend.
We'll put
we go. No. See, I ain't talking about these new niggas. I'm talking about the old school.
We gotta support the homies. Takee's a man out here.
Fine.
Yeah, like you ain't gonna do that.
Fine.
We gotta put some Takee's OnlyFans.
It's hilarious.
Exactly.
I'll definitely hold down my heart.
All right. So the name of the episode is Only Quarantines. So
that's weak.
All right,
let's table that to the next.
Yeah.
Let's
what
go to
I was gonna give one other win to Travis Scott because I felt like his Fortnite Travis Scott rollout and concert was probably some of the best content out of quarantine outside of like the Jordan documentary. Yeah. I had never played Fortnite until that concert that I watched live. That shit was amazing, and a lot of people joined. Like Fortnite had like almost 24 million people watching that concert on a video game. Like that is going to change rap marketing for years because he did that on an app that's free that you just had to buy the characters if you wanted to, but everybody was able to log in and just see that concert.
How do you think 2 Milli felt about this?
I want to say, fuck Epic Games for robbing 2 Milli and Colton. Still in there, all those lawsuits that we had talked about last time about Epic Games.
True.
Just were thrown out. And Colton, who actually made that dance.
Wait, Colton from the Colton Show?
Colton from
Colton.
You said Alfonso Ribeiro.
Alfonso Ribeiro.
Yeah. Oh, you mean CP3?
Yeah, the new CP3.
Yes. Well, yeah.
Suck that man's job.
He ain't get his bread, so fuck him.
Yeah,
at the same time, I also use House Party. That shit is kind of dope. So.
Listen, at the end of the day, I feel like Epic's. Yeah, I mean, we have a problem with Epic Games, but I feel like Travis did rap marketing in a way for an album that has already been out a year that got way more
2
streams.
years.
He got 2 years. He got a #1 album, a #1 song out of that concert with the Scots. So like, and,
Yeah, shout out to
they
Cuddy.
threw him,
First #1.
and they threw him the bag to do all that. And he released tons of merch that you could still buy. He had Nerf
Good
guns. He had
cause,
all
by
kinds
the
of shit.
way.
Yeah.
You know what's really crazy because of this whole digital age that we're now in like 20 years, Astroworld is going to be the greatest album ever.
It is going to be considered a great album. It's going to be
like because these
considered a
kids are going like it's the next bad. Yeah.
You think it knocks out Graduation?
No,
Yeah.
I don't think so.
I'm
Is it
talking
this
about
kid's-
greatest albums ever.
Well,
I
what
think
I'm saying is,
Graduation is
this
still on that
kid's-
list. I don't care.
I feel like Astroworld is the kids' graduation album. Like,
All right,
the way
fair.
Dude,
graduation,
we're talking about.
the way the graduation album hit for us and became stadium status, and we looked at
I
Kanye in a
agree.
different light. That's
agree.
what Astroworld did.
I do agree. Like, I think
Like
culturally,
the music, the
his
art, the
characters,
merch, the character, all of that is all a direct blueprint from the graduation album.
I do
Win,
agree
Lose, or Draw,
that
if
this
you hate
album,
Kanye, it's very similar.
I do
It
agree.
hit
This
kids the same way.
album made Travis Scott a household name. It's true. And just
Exactly.
like Graduation made Kanye, Graduation is still gonna be a classic to me.
The-
But this is their graduation.
You can
I
hate
agree.
Kanye
I'm gonna
all
say
you want, but
I'm
the
not
kids
talking
felt the same
about.
way.
I'm honestly not talking about our generation. I'm not even talking about hip hop as a culture. I'm talking about like
Just
there's
albums in general?
like I'm talking about one of the most important albums ever. Like Graduation is very important to us, and there are plenty of fans of hip hop. There are plenty of people who don't care about it, but there are people spanning decades that love Michael Jackson's death. And that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about suburban housewives 20 years from now are going to be like, yeah, that Astroworld's hitting.
Randy, how do you feel about Astroworld? Did you listen to it?
Yeah, I listen to it. I don't
Right,
really
he was
agree with that
so
statement,
confused by the
but
whole thing.
Randy was like, I
I
don't know
think it's
why
gonna
he's
be
trying.
it's gonna be a good album. But bad is that is different. I don't even think you should even put that.
No, I'm just talking about the digital age. Like, there are people that are going to be exposed to this album for the rest of their lives.
Do you think
Like-
Drake has been able to do that?
Yeah, at different times for other albums.
I think,
But I'm not
Not with
comparing the
albums,
two.
more with
Well,
songs.
I'm
That's
not.
the thing.
I'm segueing. But
no,
like
I'm
Drake
saying in the way that Drake is reaching heights that none of his predecessors, Jay-Z, Nas, not even like, well, maybe like Kanye, but when we're talking about for music, the way Drake is able to reach so many people at one time instantly, like it's just bigger than what Hove has been able to accomplish because he came out in the 90s. It's timing, you just can't deny it.
I think it's like I was having a conversation with an older gentleman about he's like, yo, y'all love Michael Jordan, but y'all never saw Dr. J play because it wasn't on TV. It's like by the time it was on TV, he was later in his career.
Fair.
So it's like, I think you're right when it comes to timing. I think Hove would have been able to do the same thing by the time the Dynasty came out.
You know what would have happened to Hove if Hove was out in the digital age? They would have locked him up because the cops would have been on his fucking ass talking about all the pack he's selling. Okay? Let's be 100. If Hove was out talking all that drug shit and throwing money around like he was, and actively talking about drug deals, they would have locked his ass up.
The feminist group would have killed Dame for the MTV Cribs episode with two women in the shower and said
they
that
would
was
have killed. Once Jay-Z had that clip of mushing that woman in the head, it would have been over for Jay-Z.
Yeah, it would have been alright.
Or the interview with him having two girls eating each other out, and then he's just talking about his album. Like,
well, that's just Luke. That's okay. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with that.
A lot of shit Jay-Z in the beginning would have got him canceled. So Jay-Z better be glad he wasn't came out in digital age. Okay. Period.
Facts.
All right.
But how do we feel about this Drake album?
Drake, Dark Lane.
So, I do have a question for both of you in regards to this album.
Well, Randy listened to it too, right, Randy?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, okay.
I listened to it.
Well, okay, good. So I have a question. Well, because my thing is, Randy, like, do you really think that you're a fan of Drake?
Yeah, I like Drake. I like Drake a lot.
All right, so a question for all of you. when are we ready to accept that we're celebrating Drake more for his business acumen than his music?
No, I'm not. I'm not gonna say that. I like the songs.
I like the songs.
I really
I like 5 of those songs. Maybe.
To me, to put out that mixtape or whatever tape of B-sides and demos in the middle of a thing, I feel like when he actually gets to perform him, a lot of people are going to want him to perform songs from this thing, like it's an album. So I think it's not, because my thing is that he didn't come out, I'd say it's less of a business move. He didn't come out with merch. He didn't come out with stuff to sell with it. It literally was just like, take this music.
He doesn't have to.
But my thing is that everybody else who comes out with stuff sells stuff with it.
It's like a rollout. You mean there was a rollout?
Who else is capable of really coming? Like a lot of people.
Travis did it.
Only a few people
Travis
have
has
come.
been selling vinyl and stuff with the Scots since he dropped it.
I'm talking about like right now. Like a lot of people are not like it's a real bold move for you to drop any music right now.
You can't make money off of it, really.
Yeah. But
can't tour.
Drake can obviously just throw whatever up because people soak it up. But,
well, yeah.
I mean, if y'all saying y'all really love the album, that's great. But,
no, I
don't love it.
I just think I think every time we've like for like the last 3 albums, we have absolutely talked about every Drake album. And you know what? A lot of it doesn't stick around. A lot of it. And I mean, just because people are really big fans, like there's some people that can listen to a Drake album that he's released since Views, they can listen to back to front, but that doesn't mean like Drake is dropping a lot of music that
sticking
matters. You get those 2 or 3 hits, but you're giving us an album with like 15 tracks.
I like it a lot.
I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about people who casually listen to Drake.
I think what Goodman is saying, we haven't had an album from Drake that is unequivocally a classic. Like where we've all like he hasn't had.
I think that Once Upon a Time, like Take Care, Nothing But the Same, as far as I'm concerned, are classics.
Nothing Was the Same as a classic to me.
As far as I'm concerned, it's a classic. But ever since Views, this shit feels microwaved.
Scorpion wasn't great.
Scorpion. There was a monkey wrench thrown in Scorpion.
Scorpion was mid. We know that. We've talked
about Scorpion, it. But technically,
no, we tried to talk about it. I like this song. I like that song. I like the 3 or 4 songs.
I said that.
I like Scorpion. But I like the B-side.
I said of all his releases, it's not the most celebrated of it. Along with what's the other one?
Passion Fruit. The Passion Fruit thing.
Yeah, the album that had Passion Fruit and all that. That's
my God!
But that's Goodman's favorite. He loves that blim shit. That Passion Fruit shit.
I wish our audience were big enough fans that could like track down when we've done reviews on this music, because I'm pretty sure the reviews were a little more kind back then, and I was like, mid.
No, like you said, it was mid.
I didn't like that playlist shit. I thought that playlist
Scorpion was cool, but of all Drake's albums, More Life and Scorpion are considered kind of duds.
Yeah, and those are the longer ones, right? So it just seems like when he fills out an album with too much music, a lot of it is just filler. And
a lot of it is filler. This one I just like because it really was all songs that people really wanted to hear or wanted cleaner versions of or hadn't heard at all. So, and the song hit. So I was okay with it because I'm like, you're giving us literally what we asked for. And there's a lot of artists that like, they have a lot of loosies out there and we just hear a shitty YouTube quality or a shitty SoundCloud leaked demo. And I feel like he listened. Like the last 2 things when he did the care package and when he did this, you listened to your fans. People want some of your B-sides. You gave them the B-sides.
You did. And I think Care Package was one of the better albums that came out this year.
You and my thing is that I could always respect that. There's so many artists that we like their B-sides. I mean, Playboi Carti, how bad have the fans been hounding him to release his music that he has not released since Die Lit and the 80 billion beat like demos and shit that he has out there on the internet, and he refuses. He's just on some weird shit. So it's like I could respect Drake that you released all your Ulysses in Care Package, Paris and Cake, all the other stuff that people have been asking for since the first mixtape, since Houston Atlanta, like since October's very own, and then you did this one. You released your new ones. Great, thank you. Because now when you perform, I want to see you perform both those things.
to switch gears, speaking of like just music and producers, like I like K Camp's new album.
Kiss
I
5.
like that. I like it a lot. It gives me R&B vibes. It's moody.
All
It's
the
vibey
things
music.
to play late at night for your ladies of the night that you have to talk in DM.
All right. Yes, I do a playlist at night, and yes, some people respond, and we have conversations over the music that I
Demons
have
need
chosen.
love too.
It's called Midnight Love. We're on volume 11.
AKA Demons Need Love, volume 11.
AKA Demons Need Love, volume 11. But people seem to enjoy it. But yes, this K Camp. Have y'all listened to it?
Yeah, I like it. It's cool.
I listen to K Camp.
I like K Camp. I feel like I feel like K Camp always gets. He's like Jeremiah. Like I feel like he gets the wrong end of the stick. Like he be having little singles that pop, and he has a lot of features that pop, but he gets no love.
He's not like Jeremiah, because Jeremiah does it to himself.
Yeah,
all right,
Jeremiah's
fair.
an asshole.
Yeah, he's a toxic Chicago person. So there you go.
Yeah,
right,
like we'll never forgive him for what he did to Tiana. So like you've done all that on your own.
Yeah, K Camp doesn't get a lot of love that he should.
No. I think one of the big moments during quarantine is Max Kids mixtape dropped on streaming platforms.
For those what's really fucking ironic about that? Oh wait, what are you gonna say? Sorry.
I was gonna. That's in new media. So
no.
I wrote the notes in 5-part harmony. 5-part harmony.
Because I'm talking about kids. Bro. I'm talking about kids.
I know that. I wrote it in the notes. 5-part harmony. I got this.
All right.
Guy. So kids, and kids, the mixtape dropped on streaming platforms. It just so happens
I already had it.
Supreme dropped the movie on Supreme.com as well, which was a big deal. But
that's not what I was talking about.
Oh, then go ahead, because that was a big thing. Because you can't find it anywhere.
No,
I had the mixtape always. Though it was always.
Yeah, I've been at.
I'm talking about the movie, but go ahead.
No, I'm talking about Mac Miller. I always had the mixtape on my phone.
This mixtape basically was the end of the mixtape era as we knew it.
This is true too.
This is the mixtape. It came out in 2010, and it had Kool-Aid and frozen pizza on it.
Yep.
And
Lord Finesse called lost his mind.
Yes, Lord Finesse sued Mac Miller because even though this was a mixtape and it was released for free, he was performing the music on tour.
Facts.
And this was pretty much the beginning of the end for the traditional mixtape era. And that's
blog era.
No, blog era still had another 2 years in it.
Yeah, it did.
It was kind of, but this was kind of like the beginning of like the people in the music industry coming for the blog.
Yeah, when you're talking about the takedowns and such like that.
Yeah, they wasn't letting them leak music or show up to listenings. They were like, "Get the fuck out of here."
But yes, this is a moment like people should look back and be like, oh, when everything took a turn for corporate, oh, it's this moment.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny because like I let my little sister listen to it, and she was like, "Wow, like this sounds so different than what we hear now from artists because they're so used to getting albums and not getting mixtapes." And I'm like, yeah, the beauty of mixtapes they were completely conceptual. Like they had themes, they had ideas, they told a story. I feel like albums don't really do that as much anymore. It's rare when we get a conceptual album that really tells that kind of story.
But we get conceptual albums and then they don't do well, like Wale's.
Okay.
Not to his friends.
He came out to his He came out with a concept, and everybody was like, "Yeah, whatever."
His friends.
I think the album did okay. It did what it was going to do. I think after looking at that Joe Budden interview with Wale just has bad marketing. He doesn't know his. You would think someone like him who is on the internet enough, he would know his fan base, and I think that's been to his detriment. He proved that
a lot of people
he picked bad singles. He picked bad singles for this album. Like you didn't want to do "Sue Me" because you felt like it was too black, but then everyone picked Sue Me as a song that you should have led with.
And then they love the video.
And they love the video, but you didn't make that the single. It's like, if you would just, for you to have all these people around you that respect you and pretty much bet on themselves, I don't know why you wouldn't do the same.
Point blank period, he's stubborn. Like, let's just call it what it is.
Yeah, I think a lot of people just don't like him. Like,
I don't think it's not liking. I think he's stubborn. I think he's stubborn personally. Like, I think him personally is stubborn.
Because he's been doing he's been
in the game too long.
He's been doing hard drive parties on IG Live, just playing like music, and people really enjoy it. And he's like, "Y'all really like this?" It's like, "Nigga, we know the music." Like, I don't know why you always pay attention to the negative shit. You have a fan base. Move with your fucking fan base. Like,
he's sensitive, and that's bad.
That's all right.
He always hears the negative stuff, but before he hears the fans cheering him on, and that's just always been his problem.
I mean, he'll do well as a WWE commentator eventually. Him and Smoke Dizza.
I didn't get to. I wanted to talk about West Side Gun and Prince of Paris, because I could definitely say that for me personally, I would loosely listen to West Side Gun because, like, I was just like, okay, like, everybody has done boom bap and like it's never really worked for them, so I was happy to see the new generation embrace boom bap, because I was always said to Rob, Nas could have did some of these same records, these same beats, and everybody would be like, go home and raise your kid. So the fact that West Side,
where Dave East lives,
or help Dave East get his career off the ground. But the fact that West Side Gun and Griselda get to do that kind of music, that kind of sound, and people really embrace it, the new generation and a lot of the older rappers, I think is great. So I really like Pray for Paris. Like, it was a great when the beats were fire, and I was really like, okay, this gives me a full realized taste of what West Side Gun is about, and I was fully like, okay, I was like, all right, I'm 100% with this.
I
really like it. It was a solid release.
It was. It's funny because when I look at Griselda as a whole and how they move and how they've been able to really cultivate an older sound and be embraced by a newer generation of listeners, have respect from the old guard with the music that they make and the content that's in it, and still be fashionable and relevant. I know that
fashionable part. Let's.
You can take that for what you want, but Virgil loves them. Virgil loves them.
He loves them.
He loves them. Let's be clear. They do.
Okay, you can take it for what
he got a Tyler the Creator
Buffalo,
track.
Okay?
He's got a Tyler the Creator track.
Take it how you want it, but like, I know that Dave East is rolling in his hip hop grave because he just can't not get off the ground. Like,
Griselda doesn't want to claim him because y'all don't know what block he lives on. That's Dave East's whole fucking problem. Y'all know where fucking Griselda's from. Y'all like, Griselda is from Buffalo, New York. They ain't been in Harlem. They ain't been in Brooklyn. They ain't been uptown. They been in the fucking
and they don't claim New York City.
When they don't claim New York City.
They're like, yo, where you from? We're from Buffalo. They don't say I'm from New York.
Brought up in this conversation. Literally, niggas don't want to claim him because they literally don't know his street address. That's the whole problem with Dave is point blank period.
To say about that, I did want to say that Griselda is what Black Hippie should have been.
Randy, any thoughts? I mean,
you're
from Queens, and that's a very good take. What do you think, Randy? I mean, you're older than us. How do you feel about the way Griselda moves?
Well, I'm not really into the whole, selling drug music and shit like that. So
that's
this
your whole
is
life?
what it is.
You're from Queens. What the 50 Cent do?
He sang along with it, so he made it party music. That shit, you listen to Griselda music, you ready to go rob a bank or some shit. I'm like,
you sound like something like, yo.
You sound like
it really sound like you can like dust up. You can dust up and like
it's
and
definitely
murder somebody.
Griselda. A lot of their music does sound like Black Force activity, but like 50 Cent talks about selling. Tony Yayo with the yell for Yayo. Like, what the fuck? Like, yes.
No,
like
that's just an act out. That's just.
But I see what when you listen to West Side Gun and them, you do feel like you have on black Air Force Ones. Like you're gonna commit felonies. Like
Griselda music will raise your blood pressure.
Really do.
Oh, this demon type.
Like, yo, you go outside. I never liked that mailman, my nigga. Hold on.
I never like this nigga. Yo, let me go in the trunk. Like, what? Can you relax? Just fight him. Stop shooting people.
Yeah. It is. But I love the energy that they have. I love how they take pictures with their kids and their kids are grown.
They'd be like, Dad, go away. I'm
Yeah,
not
they'd
in
be
the
like-
group.
Yeah, they'd be like, but but you know Rihanna, so I'm gonna take this picture with you.
Yeah.
So
Like, I am not part of Griselda. I'm in college. Enough.
facts. Like it's really beautiful to see. But I do want to talk about another mixtape that's making it to streaming platforms. Crit was here. I've always been a huge Big Crit fan. I think Crit was
So
here.
then you're not gonna mention Future either?
Yeah, well, Future, of course, but I mean, Future has so much music that, like, whether it's on streaming platforms or not, people are gonna go get it. Like, people are gonna go, like,
he put Purple
Beast
Rain
Mode
on.
is
People
incredible.
didn't have that.
No, they didn't, and that is something to talk about. And I think, you know, when you look at the grand scheme of things, if we want to take it there, how do we feel about mixtapes making it into streaming platforms?
I think it's great. Let them get their streams.
Whatever.
Wait,
I think it's
you
good.
don't
I
like
think
it?
I think it's necessary. It's a necessary evil, but I hate the idea that these streaming platforms basically are gatekeepers to like classic music. Like randomly, I was looking for the Hot Boys remix. You know, that has Nas on it, and it's
not on
nowhere.
there.
It's not on anything, and it's like, you know,
I had to see
that was a dope. Yeah, no, but it's like I had the song, but the idea that, you know, if, you know, Spotify don't fuck with you, or, you know, or they just collectively stop, you know, fucking with you, or you're just not big enough, or maybe all your music was like big 15 years ago, like you can be forgotten now. You can live like there's no way to actually access any of that music. How are you gonna know? And so it's
the Aaliyah thing.
Yeah, like, you know, there's a lot of, and I think her fucking uncle, as far as I'm concerned, is a fucking asshole for keeping them off of DSPs in the first place. Because like there's a, you know, generation of people now that don't know what the big deal is necessarily, because they weren't exposed to the music and they understand the emotion behind it and how it makes us feel. Because like you're just not gonna, it's not gonna be anywhere else. And so it's a necessary.
And they only have
evil.
access to the one album that R. Kelly produced.
Right? Like, dude, I'm gonna be real. I was looking for that Joe Budden song with R. Kelly, and I was like, damn, man.
Oh, okay.
That's like
you be up in the club, like? No, that's
up in the club. You cannot find that shit on Spotify. It's gone. And
the
it's
Marcus
like,
Houston song, Clubbing.
Damn, I love that song. I did love that song. I hate R. Kelly, but I love Gigolo.
Yeah.
Like
no, that's Nick Cannon.
Nick Cannon had a hit. Yeah, Nick Cannon had a hit, and I can't listen to that ever again.
But Clubbing, was Marcus Houston and Joe Budden. Yeah, that was a.
Just so the side note, I'm putting all of Aaliyah's albums in the group chat because I have them in Dropbox. So if you are missing one,
I have all the CDs.
Who's missing an Aaliyah album in this?
Yeah,
podcast?
in this. I have all the CDs.
People are.
That's more of a service you put on the on TL, because people will be like, "Thank you, I never had these albums," but like we all have the CDs.
I think I was getting in trouble
illegal.
for that. Yes,
I mean,
you will lose your Twitter account.
Didn't you just get your new Twitter name? I'm not trying to lose my Twitter name. I'm not
Corey did that with all the Neptune stuff, and some of those Neptune songs are not on any streaming service.
He knows Pharrell.
No, like maybe Pharrell owns his publishing, and you can do that.
Corey put out like literally half of their catalog on the TL.
I'm gonna be real. I need that because I'm missing some of the deep cuts. I'm actually missing some of the deep NERD cuts. Some of the versions of the songs that they flipped.
Is there any albums that or mixtape series that you would like to see on streaming platforms?
I think 50 Cent's old stuff. That would be dope.
Like G Unit Radio?
The stuff that's a lot more like Griselda.
I feel like if they put
I don't know how Ja's gonna feel about that.
You're a goddamn homo. That's all
I feel like if they put Gangsta Grills on it, that would change the game.
Yeah, man.
Yo, how ironic.
If they after all those years, after fucking almost sending them to a federal prison behind fucking mixtapes, if they put the whole Gangsta Grills series on a lot of them old Wayne tapes on there, it would change streaming.
All the dedication series, that would be nice.
That would be nuts. Because a lot of you can't find a lot of stuff, but I do agree with Randy, the 50 Cent the original, because that was like a Canal Street classic.
Wouldn't
It
they have to
was.
clear all that stuff though? Because technically they'll be getting money for it now if they put it
Yeah.
on streaming.
Oh
service.
well, but at least
Yeah.
hey, you're
Work it
getting
out.
paid, so you can't. Yeah, work it out. Like
Some of them don't want to. Some of them they'll be in the red
Yeah.
because of how expensive some of those samples are.
For me, I mean, you know, I'm emotional, so I would want the
Wale series.
I would want the mixtape About Nothing series. I would really want the warm up and the come up and Friday Night Lights from J. Cole
I would like to
on-
warm up and
on-
come up
on-
on it.
on streaming platforms.
I think I bought that CD out of a retail
want
store.
Trey Songz Anticipation.
That's on there now. That just dropped.
Bye.
Yeah.
Well, let's wrap this up.
Like, what are you talking
Literally
about?
just put it on there.
Let's
that
wrap this up.
happened like 2 weeks ago.
Wrap this up.
I would like.
It's definitely there.
If I have to throw an artist out that kind of doesn't get mentioned too much for his blog era contributions, Wiz Khalifa.
Ooh, no, actually, most of them, all the important ones
Most
are.
of them, I think.
Cabin and Fever is not on there.
That's true.
Cabin, because it's only Cushion Orange Juice that was just recently added.
Yes.
But Cabin
No.
Fever,
More of them have been added too. Because he has
Taylor Altered Geist on there.
Jeez,
Wasn't
though,
that an
just take the
album?
grill out, bro.
Yeah.
Hold on, I can actually see that because we're sitting here. But
Take the girl out.
Cabin Fever is on there. Cabin Fever.
yeah, I
2
said
is
Cabin
on
and
there.
Fever's there.
Cushion
Taylor
Orange.
Altered Geist is one I'm missing.
Alder Dice. No, it's not
Yeah.
on there because that Piff owns that.
Okay, because I love that one with that interview with Rob Markman on it. I really like that mix.
that
Yo,
was-
put the Ice Cream Skate Team mixtape on fucking streaming. Cause I need some of those Pharrell shit.
I would.
Okay,
Here's a
that's
random one: Greenhouse Effect from Asher Roth with DJ Drum. That was a
I'm
really
gonna be
good
real.
mixtape.
All I really need is the joint that he did with that has 1500 and or nothing band on it. That's
Did
good
anyone
shit.
check on him? Did he make it to California?
That wasn't him. Wrong white man.
Well, right, man. Wait, but did he make it though? I mean, now that we're quarantined,
No, he got like bit by a snake or
Yeah.
and he was like, "Oh, I promised to get back to it."
and then quarantined after.
He's fine. He just cut. What? You talking about Asher Roth?
No, it's not Asher. Asher is actually a DJ in LA. I forgot.
And he
about
just
that.
put out an album. That's actually pretty cool.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm gonna go listen to it. I didn't even know that. Shout out to Asher Roth. I mean, the Sleep in the Bread album was a really good album.
That was a great.
It was a big. It was a big moment when it came out.
That was a great album.
All right,
Let's
new
move
media,
on.
man.
Yeah.
Last Dance, the Jordan mixtape, the Jordan album. How do we feel?
Jordan double CD.
How do we feel about this document series?
It's one of the great. The fact that he's been sitting on this footage for like 2 decades, 3 is nuts.
2 decades.
2 decades is nuts.
But
Crazy.
it is. It's really great to see somebody who was able to perform at such a legendary level. Like, he's an icon. He's one of the most important. He's like, he just goes down in the public consciousness, in the history, like in our hearts. Like, it's Michael Jordan. He's up there. Muhammad Ali, Michael Jackson. Like, there's just people who are just up there. And to see him be so fucking petty and to be so vindictive 3 decades later,
I cannot believe.
I love it. When he was like, "Oh, I can't say anything bad about Isaiah Thomas game. He's one of the best point guards. It's him and Magic Jordan. Magic Johnson, excuse me. And Magic Johnson. I love it, but I fucking hate him." And I'm like, wow.
I just can't believe that Henny eyeball soaked demon is like, he's really that petty. Like, there's still people he's like, yeah, I fucking hate him. Still.
Yo, I loved how he was just like
Scotty was selfish.
Yeah, we said that was whoa.
Scotty, listen.
I was like, yo, man, you know how much money you were making?
I kind of feel bad for Scotty, but then I don't, because everybody told him to not sign that fucking deal.
Listen,
well, what would you do?
The owner of the team told him not to sign the deal.
Yeah,
and that's the cheapest nigga.
Yeah, like,
that's the cheapest.
as much as
owner in the league.
Yeah, as much as Jerry Krause gets shit, like the Bulls owner could have stepped in a lot of shit, and he just let Jerry Krause run a lot of those dudes out of there.
Well,
Because he could have easily fired Jerry Krause.
Would have got 2 more rings. Well, at least one. Because I don't think he would have beat the 99 Spurs. I don't think the Bulls would have beat the 99 Spurs.
What I'm understanding is that he just enjoys owning a team. He doesn't care about the chips. He doesn't need to win. He just wants to own the team. And that shit was getting extremely expensive for him.
I just feel like...
How did you feel how petty Mike was to Jason Krause?
I loved it.
Jerry Krause?
Jerry Krause.
I loved it because that man, literally, all his whole thing was that he clearly just wanted to dismantle that team because he was mad that people was synonymous. The Bulls were synonymous with Michael Jordan, not with him. And he hated that every celebrity in the goddamn world, everybody in the goddamn world wanted to see a Bulls game and didn't give a fuck. I don't even remember Jerry Krause's name really mentioned that much unless you're really reading trades and draft information. Most footage in the 90s of the Bulls is literally centered on Michael Jordan, Dennis Rodman, Scotty, and then everybody else on that fucking teams between the 2-3 peats.
Yeah, I think everybody else. It's just moving parts.
Team. It's true. Like literally, those are the 3 that I talked about in that order: Jordan, Rodman, because Rodman was fucking everywhere in the 90s. Pippen, and then everybody else in the whole organization. Who?
Oh, it fell.
Yeah, but it's like, and Phil. That's it. The 4th Phil, and then everybody else in that organization. Paxson, Bill Whittington, and all of them. All Jerry Krause.
Horace Grant.
Like they're all mentioned in the same. And I think Jerry Krause just hated that Jordan got so much credit for it. And it's like, he's the one busting ass for everybody. Nobody cares about you. You're up in the
this motherfucker like it's a team. It's a team effort. It's a friend.
He said he was like organizations.
It's an organization.
Organizations with teams.
Jerry Krause wasn't out there shooting no fucking basketball. What are you talking about?
You idiots haven't won a championship till you dismantle that team. Dumbass, since owners win teams. Dude, stupid.
Fuck yeah. I don't really. And then I mean, he was willing to do it too. Like that's why Jerry Krause ain't got really. I mean, Jerry Krause has no problem with continuing to throw shit on that dead man, but like he was willing to carry the water. It was definitely like Jerry Krause was definitely like his ego got the better of him. But
I was really surprised at how Jordan and Pippen, how disrespectful they were to him. They were just blatantly disrespectful.
Listen, if I'm busting the Knicks for 50 and I got a bloody socks, I'm busting your ass in the locker room.
Wait a minute.
Period.
You think that was petty? How do you think we felt when we watched the first episode and realized that Jerry Krause was Danny DeVito in Space Jam? And everyone was like, oh, wow, so that was you. Like, it literally clicked. Everyone was just like...
It literally was a caricature.
It was like, son, do you know how mad I would have been if I would have saw the movie and y'all really did that to me?
And I'm like, yo, people are coming here. They want Space Jam jerseys. They're buying Concords. And they think that I look like that guy. I'm fat. I'm green. My teeth are weird color. I'm smoking cigars. Fuck you, MJ. I don't care about your bloody socks.
When he told him, he's like, yeah, you can't have a cigar, Jerry. It might set your growth. I said, wait, what?
I like it. Listen, like I said, I'm busting the Knicks in their heyday for 50 points and I got a bloody sock. I'm busting your ass when I get off the court. Like, shut up.
This dude, Michael, loves smoking a cigar. I'm like, yo, lungs be damned. I'm going to be out here. I'm still going to put up 40. And I'm going to enjoy these cigars, too.
Did you see how he went to play golf? He's like, yeah, you know,
let's go.
The young players, you know, they going to go do practice, whatever. You know, they do that because they got to prepare. We ain't doing all that. We on the golf course. How much you owe me? You owe me $40. All right, cool. Let's keep it going.
I appreciate how much of MJ is a goat. The fact that he could willingly dry snitch this whole 10-part documentary, like violently dry snitch on everybody.
It's not dry. It's wet.
Wet, dry, soak
wet.
Snitching, all kind of snitching, and everybody's like, "It's fucking MJ."
It's like, who was it? Was it Paxson? That was like, "Yo, why you up here playing blackjack with us for $1?" He was like, "Yo," when they were like, "Yo," he was like, "Yo, I just want your money in my pocket." I was like, "Oh, I know he's an addict."
Yeah,
I don't, son. I was, as somebody who has battled addiction, I was like, that's a nasty.
You're like, this
Yo,
is big nasty.
I love how he.
I was
how
like,
he
damn.
He
I was
threw
like,
the
damn,
80s
that nigga
Bulls.
sound like me.
The way he threw the 80s Bulls under the bus, like, yeah, there was a lot of drugs in there. Jordan, you were in the room too. Yeah, but there was a lot of drugs in there. I had nothing to do with it.
He was like, Coke Boys, I wasn't a part of that
Oh.
team. The 90s was my team. But I wanted to make the point with Isaiah, and Adam Silver made that point in the documentary. He said, sports branding was never marketed in popular culture the way it was until Michael Jordan came. And I think Isaiah Thomas said a lot of players focused on the game. They focused on NBA, the game. Like when I get on court and I bust ass and I bust you with this elbow upside your head for this layup, they only cared about what happened in the four corners of that court in the two hoops. And I think MJ and people started to see that the game was beyond that, because that was around the time Jordan came. That was when the big network deal started to happen. NBA, NBC, that was inside stuff. That was when ESPN, that was like the rise of Stuart Scott. That was like the rise of sports coverage. And I feel like all the other players, until Jordan came and they saw how much money he was making off the court, like Gatorade, McDonald's, he got Space Jam, fucking Jordans, how he was marketed for everything. I feel like Isaiah Thomas didn't see that until around the time they got to Barcelona, but by that time it was too late. Like Jordan had already
I don't believe it because I don't believe that because like the like I mean I don't know who was talking about it specifically, but they said like we know that I think it was John Sally. He was like, yo, he was the anointed one, you gotta protect him.
Isaiah
and he was like, fuck that. Oh, and then he was like, fuck that. Like they knew like he was gonna be kind of crowned the next king of this shit. Yeah. And my thing is like Isaiah, just own the shit. Like, yeah, you were a petty bastard. Just like admit it. He's always acting like it wasn't a big deal. Oh, somebody else
smiles about it.
Somebody else, like, dude, like, and everybody made it clear. Like, Jordan wasn't the only one that didn't want him on that fucking team.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, yo, if you got five dudes from different teams with different terrible experiences with you, it's your fault, dog.
The thing that's crazy is like the first interaction where they really had a problem is when that first All-Star game, when they froze Michael Jordan out and he only scored 7 points. To think that in 2020, his petty ass is still mad over shit like that, you gotta respect him.
I think Isaiah Thomas is just mad how, like I said, I think he's just mad how marketed and globally. If you were a part of the dream team, literally the dream team, everybody on that team, down to Christian Laettner, you became international stars after you were on that Olympic team.
I know when he saw Christian Laettner on that team, I know he was like,
he was like, yo, fuck this white boy. Like,
because that nigga was a nightmare.
He was a nightmare, but I feel like Isaiah really took offense to it because.
No, I'm talking about Isaiah. Isaiah was an asshole.
Yeah, but Christian Laettner was an asshole, but he still became a star because he was on that fucking team. So anybody that was on that team became stars. So like, I know that he's forever sick because he's just like, if I was just on that team,
I was supposed to be there.
I would be, because Christian Laettner is basically a white version of Isaiah Thomas. But just because he was on that team, it's literally like a demerit on his greatness because you weren't on a dream team at the time when you literally should have been.
How do we feel about? I can't remember his name now, but I love how petty the documentary was. They pointed out that they went all the way over to Barcelona to beat the hell out of Son. Yes. I know, but I felt bad from the way they did him in the doc, though. Like they did him really fucked up.
No, that was all Jerry Krause again.
That was Jerry Krause again because Jerry Krause was acting like Tony Kukoc was gonna be better than Jordan and Pippen. So they went over there and they fucking jumped his ass. They jumped his Slovenian ass and they was like, yeah, and fuck Jerry Krause too for making you get jumped. Because honestly, you weren't that bad. But Jerry Krause kept mouthing off the fuck about you, so we had to jump you just to prove a point about Jerry.
Yo, the fact that Jordan told everybody else, yo, only me and Pippen guard.
Yeah, we got this.
Like petty.
Yeah.
I like how they interviewed Charles Barkley, and Charles Barkley was like, well, if they paid Pippen what he was supposed to make, wouldn't be having this problem. I was like,
It was the truth. A lot of stuff stemmed from Jerry. It was like a lot of microaggressions from Jerry that played out on the field. But it is true. And Tony Kukoc, unfortunately, jumped into the being a Bulls player by Jerry
he
Krause.
got his 3 rings. He's all right.
Yeah, I mean, he's okay.
Trial by fire.
Yeah, period. So, like,
I
like
love how the doc started with Ron Harper getting shitted on, too. He's like, your ring don't count. It was
honestly, all of Ron Harper's rings are low-key participation rings.
Son, when he was talking to Patrick and after the game,
yeah,
and he was like, yeah, well, we've been beating on you for forever.
And
Patrick was like, yo, you gonna start with this shit? He was like, yeah, he's gonna start with this shit because you've been a punching bag for him for like 15 years.
Only 2 players that I feel bad about Jordan not getting them rings is fucking Charles Barkley and Patrick Ewing. Those are the only players that I feel bad about never getting a ring because
you know what's funny?
Everybody else is like, well, it is what it is.
Fuck that Charles. He always been a little bro.
But you watched the doc, and when Charles was like, I wouldn't have gave 3 thinking I was the best player. I played the best I ever played, and I really watched Michael Jordan be better than me. And when he said that, you can see the hurt in his face. That he was
I watched that series live as a kid. Charles Barkley was cooking their ass, and he still fucking lost. Kevin Johnson was giving them buckets. I wanted to choke Dan Marley, and they still lost.
But look what happened with poor Drexler. Drexler didn't say anything. Somebody else made a comparison about Kai
and he got jumped too.
He's like, I'm gonna cook you every time.
Clyde Drexler is probably one of the most quiet. When have you even seen Clyde Drexler in the past 10 years? Like, I thought they were gonna show him. He doesn't even respond. He didn't even get to say his point that like somebody else made a comment and I got cooked. Okay.
Yo, I feel like Jordan really made this documentary to get out all of his microaggressions. Just like
I know
that whole family, like, what the fuck, man? I didn't even do nothing to you. Fuck.
Like, did you see when they showed the clip? I think in the next game they're going to talk about Gary Payton. He's like, the glove, huh?
Yo, yeah, okay. I hate Gary Payton.
But the way he was like, score on me. Yeah, okay.
I hated Gary Payton as a child, so I'm glad to see the 6th episode. But in new media, to move past the Jordan documentary, I wanted to talk about another new media figure who's technically been here for a while, the rise of Tory Lanez in quarantine radio.
Son, this dude, when I was looking at, I was in that motherfucking YouTube.
Oh, you saw the live
YouTube event. I donated $2, and I was like, "Yo, this dude is here entertaining 50." It hovered around 50,000 people for the 2 hours, with a clear deal with YouTube, and he's out of his contract with Interscope.
So all that
Interscope was looking at him like, you bully, you motherfucker.
Why you did the finger?
The Italian. I know those dudes of Interscope were like, that fucking Canadian bully. That fucking
jigaboo.
That jigaboo ended on that mid-ass album and now your YouTube deals. That 360. I know somebody chucked the phone in their offices
because he doesn't have an artist deal. He's talent.
So he got all the bread.
Lior just swooped in. I swear to you, I promise. He like YouTube. He probably has a crazy, especially once. Didn't he get banned from Instagram?
He got banned twice,
multiple times.
Like almost 3 times.
And like now you're good. Like YouTube, you got YouTube. That's basically Google right behind you. Like.
But he can't do his quarantine radio stuff on YouTube. You know?
Yeah, no more wasting all that goddamn milk in the middle of a quarantine.
He could probably start a Twitch. Honestly, I'm surprised.
Mad as hell when they had to clean that shit up. They didn't think about that. Like,
I didn't understand. I still to this day don't understand the use of milk. And use of good milk. Water, fine, you can clean that up. But you bitches are in your bedroom with milk. Like, how are you cleaning that up?
I think the best, most rewarding thing out of this quarantine radio maybe be Khaled when Shorty came and Khaled was like,
Oh no, I got love for you though. I got love
don't.
for you. Don't do that. Please stop.
You know what he just did, right? Every
I have
time
a
he goes
family.
live now, chicks are gonna do that.
Yeah.
Do you think that was it? Do you think that was his plan?
Oh
No,
I wouldn't
don't
be
think it was
surprised.
planned, but
no,
that's
I'm
what's
pretty
gonna
sure
happen.
his wife beats him.
Wow. Damn.
Well, he's not eating them, so I mean, there's that too.
Yikes.
What
I
else
think
do we
it's.
have
I
on-
mean, Tory Lanez is a great mascot now for do-rags and for like radio, because like.
Well, he figured he had to step up somehow to get Megan. Like he was just like, look, I got a network now. My albums is mid, but I got a network. Like we could build something here. Like, because I have never seen someone shoot their shot with Megan as hard as Tory Lanez has.
I have.
I have.
That's so weird though, because isn't Tory Lanez like 4'11"?
I'm
Megan
literally
is a
taller
big
than
girl.
I'm taller than Tory Lanez. Okay.
Like that's gonna be an awkward looking situation.
Stranger things have
Kevin
happened.
Hart does just fine.
JD got Janet Jackson, so
I
anything
was
can
just about
happen.
to say JD got Janet, so
Anything
you
can
never
happen.
know.
Yeah, you know, sky's the limit.
Yeah, and then I wanted to talk about the whole rise of Versus, like the evolution of that since the quarantine has happened to what it is now.
I mean, technically
it
this is gonna be the
happened,
best one.
but technically it happened before. It just is now under the brand name Versus. So I see that now even people with the battles, they don't want to do a battle unless it's Versus, unless it's been certified by Timbo and Swizz.
Yeah, because you can look at what happens when you try to put one out. Look when JD and Dallas Austin did theirs.
But they said it wasn't. But they said that one was different. They literally just played the songs and they told stories about the songs. They said it wasn't.
Writing it, yeah.
They literally They said we did not do a versus thing because we have other plans to do verses with different people. They said we specifically wanted to do this one with Dallas Austin because we are friends and we wanted to talk about the song and creative process. So they stipulated we have verses coming. We particularly didn't want to do that. We just wanted to talk about the songwriting process and the stories behind these big records because you can't really do that in verses.
I think it's incredible. I think when the audio is done correctly, it's really enjoyable. And
the memes are great.
It's a moment into time, and it really shows timeless music, and it allows people who we had no idea. Well, not us, because I think all of us are pretty familiar with everyone who's